Today on Williams Weather, we discuss the aftermath of catastrophic Hurricane Ian. Will more hurricanes follow, or will this be it for a while? As we head into October, we'll look at your 6 to 10 day temperature and precipitation outlook, as well as your drought monitor. And lastly, I'll look at your near-term and long-term forecast, all that coming up in this video. I'm sure you already know Hurricane Ian already tore a path through southwest Florida as a Category 4 hurricane and almost turned into a Category 5. It was only 2 miles an hour off from a Category 5. As it made landfall, it weakened down into a tropical storm before hitting the Atlantic. As soon as it hit the Atlantic, it strengthened back up again and hit the Carolinas as a major Category 1 hurricane. Now it's a tropical storm as it heads north into West Virginia and Virginia. Basically, a low pressure system right now. Now, are there any more hurricanes out there in the Atlantic, Gulf, and Pacific? Yeah, we do have tropical storm development out here in the main development region of West Africa into the Atlantic. The next 2 days, it's going to be a 20% chance, and the next 5 days, it's a 70% chance. So we put this into motion here. Now, we will break this down in the long-term forecast, see where it will go. If this does hit land, it's going to take a while, but we'll take a look at this here. We're just going to look at it. As you see, it's sort of rotating a little bit, getting some convection. Those dark reds right there, that's convection. High cloud bases right there. If you want to see a hurricane, that's exactly what you want to see, or a tropical storm. That dark red. It strengthens the hurricane or tropical storm. Now, we'll break that down in the near and long-term forecasts coming up. Now let's go look over here in the Eastern Pacific, as we do have some interesting developments over there. As we do have a Cat 1 hurricane just southwest of Mexico. Hurricane Orlean, almost like Jolene. Don't take Dolly's man. But wind speeds are at 75 miles an hour, max gusts of 90 miles an hour with the millibars at 989. It's getting lower too. Moving north. This is going to hit Mexico as a tropical storm on the 3rd, on Monday, with wind speeds of 65 miles an hour, max gusts of 75. Now the max strength of this hurricane is just going to be a Cat 1 the whole time. So if you're in Mexico, if you're in Nayarit, El Rosano, or any of these areas over here where my hand arrow was at, please be on high alert. Know where to go when hurricanes come your way. And we do have another one over here, west-southwest of it. The next 2 days, 20% chance. The next 5 days, 40% chance. So it's a median chance. So please be on high alert if you're in southwest Mexico. Now let's look at the severe side of things. Is there any severe weather for the next 3 days? And we do have a marginal risk today over here in southwestern Colorado and southeastern Utah for just a 5% chance in wind threat and large hail threat. If you have any speedos hanging up on the mountain over here in Colorado, you don't want those landing in Gladys's ditch again, or any beer cans or anything. You tie anything down that could blow around into your neighbor's ditch. You don't want your neighbor take off at you again. You might shove a cane up your butt or anything, or a broomstick or whatever. On day 2, looks like it's just a general thunderstorm threat spanning from North Dakota all the way down to Arizona. And your day 3 risk, same thing. For the 8 outlook, same thing. Nothing going on. We'll go ahead and look at your excessive rainfall outlook for today. Looks like there's a slight risk affecting West Virginia here in yellow, and in the green, it's going to affect much of southwestern to central Pennsylvania, northwestern Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, southeastern Ohio, far northeastern Kentucky, and these western states over here in Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Now your day 2 excessive rainfall outlook, about the same for the western states in Montana, western South Dakota, southeastern Wyoming, western Nebraska. Much of Colorado is affected by this. Southern to southeastern Utah, northeastern Arizona, northwestern New Mexico, northeastern Virginia, southeastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey are all affected by the marginal risk for excessive rainfall. Now your day 3 outlook is going to affect northwestern Kansas, southwestern Nebraska, much of Colorado, northwest New Mexico, and northeast Arizona. Now, why they issued these excessive rainfall outlooks? Well, there's going to be 2 to 3 inches of additional rainfall over here in the West Virginia area, and Pennsylvania area. This is due to Tropical Storm Ian, and out west, the same thing. 1 to 3 to 2 to 3 inches of rainfall are expected within the next 48 hours. Now, 72 hours from now, it's about the same. Day, temperature, and precipitation outlook. All right, wow. Looks like it's going to be way below normal for the northeast part of the country. Down here into the Carolinas, northeast Alabama, out here into the plains even. Wow, we'll definitely look at the temperatures here in the near-term forecast. It's going to be cool down here in the central to southern New Mexico to western Texas. Wow. Okay, like the start off October, it's going to be pretty cool in the blue there. Now, the western part of the country, it's going to be above normal as far as temperatures go. And down here in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and southwest Alabama, it's going to be above normal. Now, our 8 to 14 day outlook looks just about the same, spanning from eastern Illinois down into northeast Georgia, all the way up into the northeast states in the blue. You're going to be below normal, even in western Texas and far southern New Mexico, you're going to be below normal. But for the rest of the country, in the red and orange here, you're going to be above normal as far as temperatures go. Now, your 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook is going to be dry for much of the country here in the orange. And in the green here, in the desert southwest, you're going to be above normal as far as precip goes. Now, your 8 to 14 day outlook looks just about the same. In southwest states in the green here, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas going to be above normal. Much of the country over here in the Midwest, plains, in the northeast, it's going to be below normal. All right, we're going to look at your near-term forecast. Starting off with the severe weather risk today. I'm guessing probably 5 to 10 o'clock tonight over here in southeastern Utah and western Colorado. Clusters of supercell storms forming now. It's just a damaging wind and small hail threat today. No tornado threat to worry about. 5 to 10, this is Easter time, so mountain time around noon, I'd say. So please be weather aware today if you're in the marginal risk zone. Tie everything down. You don't want anything going in your neighbor's property. Getting to the near-term forecast, we have a winter weather advisory issued for the Absaroka and Beartooth Mountains in southern Montana for over 2 to 5 inches of snowfall, over 9,000 feet. Now, according to the GFS, showing about a foot snowfall up to 21 inches in the upper elevations in the mountains, the Wyoming mountains up there. All right. Let's go look at your near and long-term forecast here. We're looking at the jet stream. We got a ridge right here, a trough coming down here. We got that tropical storm been affecting Florida for the past 3 or 4 days so far. Now we put this into motion here. See this low pressure here moving east. This could bring warm temperatures up here, and there could be something right here in this area. Bring some precip and squeeze out the rest of the precip in the air. Bring some cold temperatures by Friday night into Saturday morning. And we'll be on a zonal flow after that. See right here, that's a zonal flow. If it's straight like that, that's a trough. Now this takes us out to the 16th of October. Definitely something by the 15th. All right, let's look at the 500 millibar height anomalies. The red blobs and blue blobs. Blue blobs determine bad weather, and the red stuff determines good weather. Usually blue associated with cool, red associated with warm. Get the gif. Now, there's definitely something right here. Usually you get that. Usually not good. That could be because it is Friday. Friday night, you see the time over here. 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. That could be associated with it being cold out that morning. I know that Friday night's going to be really cold for the Northeast and the Midwest area. We'll look at the temperatures here in a little bit. Definitely something by the 14th for the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and that 6 to 10 day temperature outlook said it was going to be cold out there in that part of the country. Hot out west, so far right, according to this GFS model. Now let's look at your deposit reflectivity, determine what it could look like. See, there's a low pressure there. A lot of precip in the mountain states in Montana and Wyoming early into October. And you have that tropical storm still spinning out here in Virginia and North Carolina, moving off into the northeast. It moves out by the 4th. Now it remains dry for much of the country, you see, except for there's some spotty showers in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. And we do have that hurricane down here in southwest Mexico making landfall as a tropical storm. Just gonna bring some precip up north. We'll push us into the future here. Looks like just some pop-up showers for much of the country for a while, and then it looks like something really getting started there in the Ohio Valley. Pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible on the 13th. Moves into the northeast. It'll be wet and dreary for a while towards the middle of the month. Now let's look at your temperatures. You see here, it's gonna be warm in the plains, and then we're gonna have a drastic cool off. And that's gonna be cold. We're gonna have warm mornings. Hopefully those mountain states gonna be cold. We're in a hot and cold pattern right now as we head into October. Mid-October is gonna be really cold by October 7th, Friday. Major cool off. It's gonna warm up again, cool off. Good old October temperatures. See where that potential tropical storm will go, will form, which is out here in the Atlantic. There's a 70% chance for it. So let's see if it will actually hit America or anybody. Just forward here. You see it is right here. Where arrow's at? Right around this area. Now, looks like it's going to churn north, and really I don't think it's going to affect anybody. Might turn into a tropical storm or hurricane, but I think it's just going to go out there and spin around and really not affect anybody. Now, let's go look at the sea surface temperatures. As you can see, that tropical storm was 70% chance in the next 5 days is out here. You see the sea surface temperatures right here on the bottom. where you can determine what they are. Right around 30 degrees Celsius. That this is in Celsius. It's about 70 to 80 degrees. Now if it was heading this way, it would eat up all that energy out there. That's how Ian gained its strength. There was no Saharan dust and very little to no wind shear. So it went up here into the Bahamas, went through Cuba, and it collided with the hot waters that were out here, and it fueled it, turned into a major hurricane, and it slammed into Florida. With this tropical storm, now that it is very far out in advance, but I think it'll die out. It might become a tropical storm, possibly a hurricane, due to these sea surface temperatures being so warm out here. But I think as soon as it gets into this area here, it'll die off because those sea surface temperatures are kind of cool out there. Now we'll go over here into the Pacific, and there's actually a chance for a hurricane out there as well. Seeing over here, that's why there's a hurricane forming that has formed here, a category 1. Temperatures of the water are pretty warm. And there's another one over here as well. Now that'll probably die out because the sea temperatures right here in yellow are kind of cool. We're going to go ahead and look at the snowfall totals just for kicks and giggles here. It's like Canada's getting some snow over here in the northeast. Over here in the mountains are already getting some snow. So winter's coming for a lot of y'all. So that'll just about do it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and never stop forecasting.